What up, Nick Nation? It's your boy Juby the Tubi, straight talk family above everything. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are staying safe. Happy Monday to you guys. April 11th, the Knicks wrap up the season finale with a W against the Toronto Raptors, 105-94, behind Obi Toppin's career night and Emmanuel Quickly. The two young guys, two young men are the future of New York. They showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of finesse, and a lot of growth. And anything to take away from this season besides R.J. Barrett is them two, how much they've grown and how possibly they are to be the future of this franchise alongside R.J. Barrett. Now, will that include Julius Randle? That we don't know. But this man right here,
You've used the word confidence
Yeah.
last week.
play the first part right now.
It's the fourth time in 5 games you've
42 points, career night.
high. Like, do you feel like you're just going out there and throwing it up and stuff is going in? Is that confidence really building?
I feel like I'm just going out there playing. Like I have great teammates who's finding me on lobs and who is finding me in like different situations. But like all credit goes to them. Like we push each other every day
You gotta love that.
to get better. So they helped me throughout this whole season get better as the season went on.
Why is, I mean, it's like last 11 games you're in the mid 40s from three.
Yeah.
And this is where Coach Thibodeau letting him play comes into effect. I'll put that real quick.
I feel like you just said, like I feel like as the confidence got better, I kind of like it just became like as soon as I catch the ball, if I'm open, I'm gonna shoot it. So like I feel like, and that's what tips tell us too. Like if we're open, shoot the ball, and I'm not thinking I'm coming out. I'm just playing basketball. So
There you go, guys. He's playing. He was playing because the season wraps up with no restrictions. Coach Tibbs finally letting the young kid do what he got to do and play freely, and it's showing. So big up to Coach Tom Thibodeau for letting the young man play free willingly lineup. Stick around, much more. I have the little section portion of the next big details on this video. But I'm Juby the Tubi, straight talk family above everything. And we'll be back in 1 minute. What's up, Nick family? I'm your boy, Juby the Tubi, straight talk family above everything. And again, welcome. We're going to be joined by Zenray from Zenray Sports TV momentarily. But here's the rest of the short interview from last night.
push us to come into the gym every day and get better. So having a brother like Quickly, he's in the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning working out sometimes, and he'll call me and be like, "Yo, bro, I need you to come to the gym with me." So, like having a guy like that with you that works hard every single day to help his craft like is great, and to start to help a team be successful, you need a guy like that. So.
There you have it. They're working on their craft. Their bond is strong. moving forward. The future is looking bright for New York, like I said, and last night showed that even without R.J. Barrett and without Julius Randle, the future of New York is looking bright. Obi Toppin with some fantastic dunks last night, reverse jams, and the guy is looking like a young Amari Stoudemire. He look like he's ready to take the Knicks by storm. But let's get Zenray in here from Zenray Sports TV, who's finishing up his little intro, and he's showing off the highlights. So if you guys want to check that out, you can check that out on his stream. And give me 1 second.
I mean, Obi Topping has put, I think, the last couple of nails in Julius Randle's coffin, basically, because he looks like the real deal. I don't think Julius Randle's going to recover from this, because when Obi Topping is out there, he's electrifying. He's positive. He's a young kid in the backyard having fun. And the days of Julius Randle putting the thumbs down and FUing the New Yorkers, Knick Nation, which we didn't appreciate, obviously, it seems like Julius Randle's days could be numbered. But looking into that interview that I just put up with Leon Rose, I think Leon Rose is going to still keep Julius here, the way he kind of mentioned how young the team is. And he wants to get young and get kind of a star player here in the draft, maybe. That's what he's looking for. But I don't know. It's going to be some decisions between Tibbs, the management, and Leon Rose to make that final decision. But as of now, Obi Topping, what a great game in 40 minutes of play, 42 points, had a double-double with 10 rebounds, a +8. Shot very well from the field, 16 from 28, 6 from 14 from the three-point range. And then quickly, who's making people believers that he should be a point guard here at MSG, and the Knick Nation is looking at this young kid as the next point guard. Maybe that's something that the organization will be looking at this summer coming up. So quickly put up some big numbers in 42 minutes of play, had 34 points, +23, a triple-double with 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 12 from 26 from the field, 4 from 11 from the three-point range. When these two kids aren't on the floor together, you must play these guys together. They are yin and yang, and just this combination of just these two electrifying players, this chemistry that they have together is something special. The Knicks have to look into this. We'll be talking to Juby the Tubi, family above everything, New York Straight Sports Talk.
I've been here, my friend. Been here. I've been letting you finish up, right? Waiting for you to wrap it up.
Okay, Juby the Tubi. We're speaking about Obi Topping and Emmanuel quickly. What display of character? That's one thing you have to say. Of a fun, youthful bunch of kids, starting with them basically, because Barrett unfortunately didn't play last night, but you can throw Barrett in the mix. You can throw Quentin Grimes in the mix. These kids are here having fun, Juby. When is the last time you've seen a bunch of kids having fun like this? Even last year was an aberration, I guess, in a sense that Julius Randle was the king of New York. But this team is now more of a team without Julius Randle. And like I mentioned, it seems like Obi Topping in the last couple of games had just put one nail in the coffin. I think he put that final nail in Julius Randle's coffin.
Yeah, the young kids are ready to take New York by storm. Obi Toppin is showing why he's been excelling the last few games, and I played a video of his post game last night to my viewers. So if everybody on Zenray Sports TV wants to check it out, they can more than welcome to join and check it out. It's going to be linked in my bio. But the video, basically, Obi Toppin says that he is playing without having to worry about being yanked from the lineup. He doesn't have to worry about Tom Thibodeau taking him out for making mistakes. And his confidence is through the roof right now. He's just enjoying playing basketball. And when you got a brotherhood like him and Emmanuel Quickly and a couple of other Knicks are sharing right now, that he's getting called from Emmanuel Quickly at 2 o'clock in the morning to come to the gym. And he's loving it right now. They did ask him if he can play with Julius in that position. And of course, Obi Toppin says the right things. And he said, absolutely, him and Julius have discussed in previous past of them playing together. Like you said, I don't know what's gonna happen. Knicks management has a big decision to make this offseason with Mitch and Julius and a couple of other players. But right now, we can stand here and we can say the future looks great with Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and the rest of the young core. And they're both making a strong case to be either starters or big contributors to the rotation. Emmanuel Quickly is playing like he's ready to be either a reserve point guard or a starting point guard with the numbers that he's throwing up as well. Triple double last night, both career nights, and Obi Toppin with 42. Like my viewers listened to your intro, just a fantastic game. Sad to see that the season is over, but excited of what's to come.
Look, Leon Rose, I have him on saying basically that he's looking to build this team the way it is now and to build through the draft to kind of, I think he's trying to insinuate to find other young talent. And I think he's looking for that superstar. But I think before our eyes, we're building superstars. And like Thibodeau said in his interview, that after 2 years, we see what we have in Obi and Quickly. And now that we have Grimes and we have Sims, you're seeing what you're getting out of them after 2 years of development. So I don't think Thibodeau is going nowhere because he has this relationship with these young kids. I think he's starting to see that developing these young kids is something he's not regularly has done in the past, but he's having fun because he's saying these kids are these kids are a bunch of great kids at practice, positive. They're doing what they have to do assignment wise. He spoke very highly of not only the youth of this team, but the overall team chemistry. And it looks like, from what I've heard from Thibodeau and what I'm hearing from Leon Rose, I'm not trying to take too much out of it, but it seems that Julius Randle is going to come back and they're going to have to work something out by having Obi play. I don't see, if you see the way Randle plays, the offense is stagnant because he stops the flow of the game by trying to do his ISO, his fall away. Obi quicker keeps the game running, moving, no stag. I haven't seen anybody try to post anybody up. This is a fast-paced team. And if Julius doesn't get on board, we have to get him out and get something for him if we can. We're probably not going to get everything we wanted. But you cannot stop this energy of this youthful team from what we've seen in these last 5-6 games, Juby.
Yeah, and I don't know if Obi can play with Julius. They've been talking about it, maybe Julius maybe being a 5 or Obi Toppin being a 3 with RJ. It's really tough. Obi Toppin right now is still learning how to move his lateral move and move his feet, and Julius Randle doesn't have the best defense in the NBA. So it's gonna be tough. I mean, you see what you're getting from Obi when he's a full-time starter, and the Knicks have some. I'm pretty sure if Julius didn't sign that contract, I'm pretty sure the Knicks would have held off if Obi Toppin had the season he had this year. Last year, I don't think the Knicks would have given Julius Randle that contract. I think they would have waited and maybe signed him to a 1-year deal. But they made their bed, and now they have some tough choices. I mean, I don't know where they go from here. It does sound like Julius is going to come back. Leon Rose said that Julius had a tough year, that he's very proud of him, that he wears his emotions on his sleeves. And, that it just happens. You have some good and some bad with New York, but he loves New York and he loves his family here. And they're going to be a part of it. So we'll see. Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Welcome. There's one of the future Knicks. Him and my son hopefully will play for the Knicks one day, and we can sit here in our rocking chairs and be proud. And hopefully we get to see a championship in our day before our days are numbered. But it's just like I said. At this point, now you just have to play the waiting game. You have to watch the play-in tournament. You have to keep an eye on Utah because I still say that's a big team to keep an eye on. You got to keep an eye on Brunson because that's a prospect that we're interested in as well. And we'll see where once the lottery becomes a thing, and then once the July 1st comes, I know that he said that he's going to continue talking with Mitchell Robinson agent, and they're going to try to come to an agreement. But money talks. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. Look, everything you said in terms of quickly and finding another point guard here that's Knicks management that have to kind of figure all this out. Randall right now, it's like oil and water. I don't think it mixes very well with this youthful team, and he has shown his character issues. I don't see none of this youth of the Knicks showing this character issue. You can't have a bad apple on the team that's going to spoil the youthfulness and the fun and the energetic theme that this Knick team has run to Knick Nation in the last 5-6 games. It's something special when you see these kids playing together and just being together without no negativity, without no. I haven't seen nobody argue with referees. I haven't seen nobody pointing anybody out, fighting with other players. This is something really, really special, and I look for the Knicks to do something, and I think this summer is the big key for the Knicks to eventually make things happen.
Yeah, every year we think it's gonna be a splash summer. I know we had the summers where LeBron James was a free agent, and us as Knick fans, we wanted to get these superstars. But I think now, especially with the young core that we have, we're very attractive to a lot of superstars who are available. Especially because we're from New York, the mecca of basketball. If Chicago didn't have the success that they had, I would say Zach LaVine might be interested, Bradley Beal from Washington, but they made some moves that may satisfy his need to stay in Washington. We're an attractive location right now. A few years ago, nobody wanted to be a part of this team because of Jim Dolan. Everybody kind of stood away from New York, but I think with this young team that they're having fun and players around the league are giving them props for the way they're playing and they're actually making a name for themselves. It's gonna be exciting, man. Like I said, who knows? Although we want a Donovan Mitchell, maybe we have our Donovan Mitchell on our team already, and we just don't know what these guys upcoming. Because Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin, man, look like they've been in the NBA for years the way they've been playing lately. And if you add a RJ Barrett to that combo and you get yourself a Derrick Rose back in the lineup or a veteran point guard who knows how to facilitate that basketball, sky's the limit for what this team can do.
Well, this is why I say I don't think there's a fit for Julius Randle here.
Yeah.
I saw something quickly that I've been pushing away. I said quickly can't be a starter. We need some backup here. I don't think now you have to go for a point guard. I think quickly, with the work that Quickly and Obi and Barrett's going to do this summer, I think the Knicks going to be a dangerous team, but you have to do addition by subtraction. Oil and water don't mix. A bad apple on the team, and Julius Randle can take his services elsewhere because I don't think there's a fit. I just hope they see this because if they revert back to going with Julius next year and then Topping kind of takes a step back and quickly and the team does not play well, then you're going into the same situation you did this season, and especially in that first half, for 3/4 of the season, this Knicks team was in disarray, and it had a lot to do with Julius Randle and his bad behavior, not only toward his teammates, to other players in the NBA, and toward the referees. This cannot be tolerated. I hope that they see this as Julius Randle is not a bad player. He is actually a 20-10-5 player. That's some great stats. A lot of teams can use a 20-10-5 player. 20 points,
He's
10
he's the
rebounds, and 5 assists.
he's the third star, and the only three people in the NBA this season have averaged 20, 10, and 5. He's the third. So
So it tells he has talent, but unfortunately, he has a big ego. And after what he said and what he did to the Knicks fans at Madison Square Garden with the thumbs down and FU in them after the interview, that I don't care. You don't say that to your loyal fans at MSG. They go there thick and thin. Even when they lost the losing season this year, you should have seen that arena last night at MSG was packed, and you see people raising their hands when Obi was displaying the show he was doing last night. Juby, Randall has to go. There's no ifs, buts about it. If they don't do that, they're going to start off a season with a lot of question marks and a lot of instability because with the way Topping and Quickly right now, I would say Quickly and Topping has to start for you next year. I wasn't saying that a few games back, but I saw something Quickly last night. 10 rebounds? 10 rebounds. So he hits the boards. He's aware he's aware of where everybody's located at. This is a special player. You get another veteran point guard here, or just keep Rose and keep Burks as your backup guys if you need to use them, and keep McBride. You probably don't even have to bring a veteran point guard here, Juby.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree with you. What I would like to see, if Julius really cared about his relationship with New York fans and New York players and teammates, New York City and NBA is the era that we live in is very big on social media. You see LeBron James tweeting when people are having a great game and they're not even his teammates. He'll tweet out and he'll say something. I haven't seen Julius Randle give praise at all. I think instead of RJ Barrett coming out last night to address the fans, it would have been really nice for Julius to come out and say, Nick Nation, we're sorry we had such a bad season, but I don't know. I think it would have kind of helped his situation, but I see now where the Knicks management is going, and I think it's right. I think it's too late to fix this relationship.
He would have done that, and would have probably two things would have happened. They would either boo him or they would have said, OB, OB. He was not going to get himself humiliated, and he would have got humiliated. Believe me, he's done so much wrong this year toward the Knicks fans and Knick Nation that there is no place for him to come out with some kind of apology, because you're not the man no more, Julius. There's 3 sheriffs that took over the town, and it starts with Barrett, Quickly, and Obi. Those are your future Knick guys. There's no room for Julius. He's a great talent, don't get me wrong. Oil and water don't mix. He does not mix with the Knicks organization.
Yeah, listen, we had a situation a couple of years back with Carmelo Anthony. Everybody loved Carmelo Anthony, but when the Knicks started looking bad, Carmelo Anthony, his time was up. Didn't mix well with the players at the end of his career here in New York.
Yeah, insanity especially. He had a bad relationship with insanity.
So, I think it's kind of the same scenario, same similarities. So I think you're right. Absolutely. It's just like I said, I would like to see him even in a post game, what did you think of Obi Toppin's performance? Him say, listen, he's playing great. That's my teammate. Oh, you don't see none of that. You don't see none of that stuff. That's my whole thing. You see LeBron James sitting on the bench. LeBron James, even if he's not at the game, he's tweeting out. He's commenting on his social media. Julius Randle, this is what you're getting. And what we wanted this a few months ago. No, we didn't want you to be outspoken, and now the tables are reversed. Now we want you to be outspoken and tell us how you feel about the young kids and the way they're developing and everything. He's just quiet. And this is why I think he's done. I think come the end of the playoffs, you'll kind of see more that Julius Randle is going to be gone for something.
Look, I think they have to shape up this roster. I think Sims can play. I think I would love to have Mitchell Robinson back, but I think Mitchell Robinson days may be over as well. I can see him gone. Fournier is a keeper. I think Brooks is a keeper because of the fact that you don't have to bring anybody from the outside. Because what do you know? You're not going to get Donovan Mitchell. That's a long shot. That's a long shot. You may get him. They may do something. And if you get him, you're still going to be so good, because when Quickly comes off the bench, he'll be your Derrick Rose. Or maybe you do a 2-guard rotation where you can play them together and then put RJ in the 4, or you can put him at the 3. You can do so many combinations when you add an elite talent like that. But you'll be very, very deep if you get a star point guard here. But you don't need to. In other words, you don't have to force your hand. Let them come to you. You don't have to kind of be desperate about getting a point guard now, because you have something to Quickly. And that's what makes what Quickly's done in the last second half of this year's season so special. This kid has grown before our eyes. And that first half, I was critical of him. I said, what happened to Quickly? He's having his sophomore jinx. He has proven himself. And Obi Toppin, if we would have gotten the opportunity earlier, we would have seen Obi Toppin averaging 20 points, maybe 21 points a game for the season. He wasn't given the opportunity. He was yanked to bring Julius in, and you saw the effects of Julius Randle. he didn't bring a winning attitude. Not that his numbers were bad all the time, because he had some great numbers with the team during the year, but it was his. He didn't have a winning attitude. His mind was lost, and like you said, it was in the sauce.
Absolutely. Well said. Listen, my three untouchables, possibly four, this offseason, of course, will be Obi Toppin, quickly, RJ, and it's a toss up with Sims, unless you lose Mitchell Robinson. And, just under no circumstance, even if Spider Mitchell is available, Damian Lillard is available, I don't want to hear those guys mentioned in any packages because, like you said, we have the stars in development. These guys are going to be something special for them to do what they're doing on their second year tenure as Knicks. You imagine in 3-4 years how much their game can improve. I mean, Obi Toppin's jump shot is like night and day from what it was at the first half of the season. We used to cringe every time he would shoot the 3-pointer. We used to be like, why is he shooting the three? He should just drive the ball. Now we're seeing moves that we never envisioned. Quickly is starting to make passes like a ball facilitator, like we've been dying and crying for all season. And I think you're right. I think we don't force a hand. I think if you can talk to somebody like a Brunson and he says, you know what, my dad played for you guys, I'll take 70 million, and you get him, good. If he sits there and says, I want 90 million, kick rocks because you already got your point guard.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna go. If you're gonna go for a point guard, if they're gonna bring somebody else in, it's gonna be somebody who is not as expensive. He's asking for 22 million dollars a year, Brunson. And I think what you saw in Quickly today, and I still think you need a point guard here. If you could, the only person I would bring here and make a trade for is Donovan Mitchell, and maybe Lillard.
What about Claxton from Cleveland, who doesn't have no room there no more? Was a good point guard, and he could come in cheap too.
Yeah, you can, but he has a contract year, so he's going to want money this year as well. So it's a lot of decisions the Knicks have to do. I leave that to Leon Rose and the Knicks management to deal with that. But one thing that I think Knicks Nation is going to want, or they're going to want somebody's head in Knicks management, Julius Randle has to go. Because if you bring Julius Randle next year and Obi's not getting the time, or he's being pushed back from developing his talent, wow, Knicks Nation are going to be a rowdy bunch, pitches and forks at night coming.
Off with his head. That's what we're going to see.
Yeah, off with the head, I mean, so I don't know, Juby. With that said, the Knicks win 105-94. We got away from the game. Simpson, 39 minutes of play, had 6 points. He had 11 rebounds, very impressive, a plus 27. This kid is going to be something special. Probably be our starting center in the next couple of years. But I see him as a backup to probably Nerlens Noel until he finishes contract and probably taking over. I wouldn't be surprised in the draft if they look for a big guy in that draft. Obi Toppin, like I said, 40 minutes, 42 points, and he had 10 rebounds. He had 1 block shot, 3 assists. Burks, 40 minutes of play, had 10 points. And Evan Fournier, 33 minutes with 6 points. And Quickly, 42 minutes with 34 points, a plus 23. The Knicks starting lineup played very well yesterday.
With 12 assists. 12 assists. That's not Quickly. Let's not forget. We don't normally see that kind of assist.
Double. He had 10 rebounds, and 12 assists, which is very impressive. He can do that on a nightly basis, like we mentioned. He is what I saw from him last night kind of just not pushed me to say that you must start Obi and Quickly. If you start Obi and Quickly and have Barrett in there and you could put a little Cam Reddish. And remember, Quentin Grimes is going to get better, and Sims going to the second year, they're going to get better. So Quentin Grimes eventually is the guy who's going to be replacing Evan Fournier when his contract ends up, and that's how it's going to stack up. But this Knicks team is talented. They drafted well the last couple of seasons. I'm very impressed with that aspect of Knicks management. Juby, I don't know what to say. We're not going to talk about what the Raptors did, basically. Gary Trent Jr. was their high man for 17 points. And off the bench, Brochure with 32 minutes with 21 points. Besides that, the Knicks handily beat the Toronto Raptors 105-94. The Knicks 37-45 ended the season last night in 82 games. And Toronto Raptors will be heading into the playoffs with a 48-34 record. The Knicks will be back on track next year. And the Knicks management, like you mentioned, and like Nick Nation mentioned, has to do some heavy lifting this summer and make some tough decisions, Juby.
Absolutely. And then in the next couple of weeks, guys, me and Zenray will get together and we'll, like I said, we've been talking about it. Just because the season's over, we're going to still bring you some rumors, some who stays, who goes, shows, our predictions on the draft. So look out for that. We haven't had a timetable yet. We'll probably take a week or so off and kind of gather some information, get some, and get all the details together. So we don't want you to think that we'll be back next season. We'll definitely have some stuff for you. There's also Summer League. So we're excited, guys. Like I said, look out for that. Although the Knicks season is over, you still got the postseason. You still got some great teams still left in the NBA. And there's still plenty to come.
Draft. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I agree, Juby. Lottery, the draft, Summer League, like you mentioned. There's so many things going on. We'll be doing our perspective of what players the Knicks should target, free agents, and things of that nature. We have a lot of stuff going on, guys. We're here for you, and Juby the Tubi is the man on Family Above Everything brand. I always have this description in my description area in my Zenray Sports TV area. And with that said, Juby, I tell everyone, never give up, never give up. Our prayers are out to the Ukraine and their family. It seems like the war is worsening. Our prayers for peace and love is very important to get this war over with. So our prayers continuous for the Ukraine. Never give up, New York and everyone around the world, knowing that the best is yet to come. As long as you have love, peace, and gratitude. Juby, thanks again for coming on.
Of course, my brother.
Any last departing words on your end?
Enjoy your day, guys. And as always, family above everything.
Family above everything. Thank you, Juby. We'll be talking soon. We'll probably do a show sometime next week. Talk about little playoffs and our perspective on Knicks management and who they should bring in free agency.
Sounds good, brother. Have a great day. Be safe.
Thank you. Zenray out.
All right, guys, that was Zenray with Zenray Sports TV wrapping up. And like I said, season's over for the Knicks, but we'll still have plenty of content. And look out for that. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the beautiful weather that's upon us. I'm Juby the Tubi reminding you guys that you don't have to be blood to be family. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.